Hi guys, so as you know, recently I've been trying out different squares that I have worked up in the past, you know, things that are very typical granny square or squares in general, using the Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn. Some people said that, you know, my squares were easier to work up. They had a hard time with the one that they're recommending here in the label. It's also a really big square. It's very loopy and floofy, like soft, and some people don't care for that. You want something tighter or whatever it is. So I've had a couple different videos creating my own squares, and people have had success with that, so that's really great. So one of them on this one, the little sunburst, I did a tutorial on making a cowl. I took that cowl with me to Universal Studios. Miranda and I shared it, and it was really great. Worked out really well. So today I want to make another cowl. The reason I'm making cowls is because there are techniques in there that will help you make blankets or other things, or scarves, and it's a quick project, so I can show you guys without having to make, you know, 120 hexagons to make like a blanket or whatever. We're going to join as we go, so that's another thing people have asked about. They want to see more of that. And they asked me to do a join as you go with the original square, like the original granny square. So I might do that. Basically this last round right here, this white round, you're going to be joining as you go instead of just stitching it up, right? Or, yeah. So we'll see. If there are any things I can link in the description box, those are generally like the tools I'll be using. I'll have them there. Those are affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So this morning I stopped by Joann. Actually I was going to go to Walmart because I just needed some Red Heart yarn or something that will coordinate with these guys, because these are very different colorways, but I want to make them come together in a way, because, you know, the granny squares are always like mix and match and just fun scraps that you have left and you make your little granny squares, right? So I don't have a problem with that. I do need to sew in the rest of these ends though before I continue, really, because they're going to definitely get in the way. I do like leaving these till the end, so what I'm going to do is actually just make them shorter because they're super long. So I just wanted to show you whenever I did the tutorial, like, we still had like a couple feet of yarn left. I'm going to again trim them back. And these are all about the same size, and in my tutorial I'll link that video, the original video for these guys. I had mentioned that I did chain 3 in this corners of these. These are chain 2, and I like the chain 2 look better. So these are chain 3, these are chain 2, but it doesn't really matter. They're gonna come together just fine. So I'm not gonna worry about that. Anyhow, I went to Joann's and I was like, I pulled up my own phone because I didn't bring these guys with me. And I was like, what colors? In my mind I was thinking the burgundies, because you see this one has burgundy, this one has burgundy. And I thought, well, that might pull it together a little more. I mean, I love the coral. I know my other project had the coral in it, but this doesn't really have coral. It has more of a bright pink. And so, you know, the lavender. So I went to Joann, and one of the first things I was like, what brand was it again? I already forgot, you know, and I was like, oh, that's right, it's Red Heart. But I was looking for Pound of Love also, because I have another video going for something else, and I wanted more Pound of Love. And I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect one. Because remember, this one was like weird. See how it has like variegation or something in it, and it's real like floofy. I don't know how to explain it. And this is a pretty good match, especially if it's going to be out on this edge. So I'm going to finish the white ones with this on the edging, like another round of hexagon granny square kind of pattern going. And then this one, I was just like, well, if I did the burgundy on this one, maybe I should do the pink, right? Bring that pink back around to the edge, and that will kind of, you know, lend itself to like the pinks and the soft colors over here. And I remember that this pink had like black kind of in it too. It's kind of a weird pink. If you look at it, it has like some other flecks in it. So I just grabbed at Joann. The first one I grabbed was this one. Oh no. Did it fall out? And there it is. I was like, oh no. I hope they've gotten the bag. This one, because it looks a little, you know, chunky and everything. It's this Heartland yarn, and it's the color Wolf Trap. Let me tell you the color of this one in case you're looking for something that coordinates with that. It's Claret Rouge Bordeaux, it says, of the Pound of Love. And I was like, oh, I think it's pretty close, because I remember being kind of pinky lavender-y color, you know? And then this one was nearby, this big twist that has like pink and white variegation. It reminds me of a sweater that Miranda has. And I'm like, oh, maybe this one. They call it Heather, but it's the color Rose. So yeah, it's like that Heather kind of, you know, look. And then I realized that, hello, I'm at Joann. I can pull one of the skeins and kind of see what we're doing. So I kind of pulled it, and you know, at that store, this color looked like it went better. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks a little more purple than I like, but that's okay. I think it'll coordinate. Actually, we can still go with this one, huh? I brought them both just in case, because I was like, what if it doesn't work out? You know what? Maybe we'll use this one better. Yeah, let's use this one better. This is cute for something else. I can keep it or return it, either way. So that's my plan. I'm going to edge this one with this pink, this one with this burgundy. We're going to link them together. We're going to have to finish in some way, because that's the whole problem with hexagon ones, is like, what are you going to do now with this area that's all boop, 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 or whatever, right? So we're just going to use these 4. It's going to look much bigger because we're going to do another round of granny before we attach them. In my mind, I was like, to be honest, I could finish off 2 of them. If you guys remember my last video, I was showing you how to join as you go. We finish completely one, and then you start adding the other one. You do like some of it, and then you add it, and then you continue going. If I finished off, let's say these 2, and then I come in with this one, I start adding it, finish it off, add it here, finish it off. Now these 3 are already connected without being like this one, and then add this one, and then add this one, and then add this one. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is go ahead and finish off a couple of them, and then just add them together. That's just a whole other thing. It just seems quicker to me in my mind. It might not be, but do whatever you like with this kind of technique, right? Whatever works for you. So let's pull the skein from, or the yarn from the center of the skein. And, oh, see, I'm already getting confused. I was like, in the pink one, actually that's these guys. So the pink is for these guys, so I'm going to finish off both of these, and then we'll add these in with the burgundy. So where's my end of my yarn? I pulled a whole bunch of it and I just let it fall here. So now we gotta find the end again. Come on, it's right here. Okay, so for these guys, what I'm going to do, and I'm just making this up, guys. I haven't written anything down. I haven't even really thought about it much more than let's just start. So with these guys, we're going to completely just go ahead and granny. So I'm going to go into one of the corners because that's the easiest place to go. These grannies are double crochets, 2 of them, not 3 like you typically do. So I'm going to take that in. That's 1, 2. I'm just going to do 2 tall. I don't know. Sometimes I change. Well, let's go ahead and do 3. Okay, fine. 3 is my first double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and make my second double crochet. So that first chain up, you know, your foundation chain there, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be your first double crochet. And I've been chaining 2, which is I prefer since I like the look of that. So chain 2 and 2 more double crochet. I'm keeping my old yarn down here just to kind of trap it. So 2 double crochet. Now this is going to be different from our previous round because I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 in between. So this last round I just kept going 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet, skipping 2. I didn't do chain 1s in here, but this time we are going to do chain 1s. So chain 1, and in this space, you know, in that space in between your next little grannies, 1, 2, and I do not want to trap the yarn over here. This yarn, since it's a different color, I don't really want it to go from this side to the next, so I'm going to pull that out and do away with that another time. Chain 1, 2 grannies, well, a granny, but which is 2 double crochet for this one, and then chain 1, and now we're in this next space before we get to the corner, so we're going to go in there and do 2 double crochet. And then we're going to chain 1, and then in this space, I was just like, oh, in my mind I had to pause because I was like, oh, was I supposed to? No, we're good. I was thinking I forgot to leave a chain space after this, you know, chain 3 or chain 2. We don't need a chain space. So anyway, so I was going to pull it out, but no, we're good. So we have our 2 double crochet here, and then we're chain 1, and now we're at our corner, and at the corner we're just working a corner cluster. So 2 double crochet, sorry. Chain 2, 2 double crochet. I'm so silly. I was like, oh no, I didn't leave a chain space. I'm like, I don't need to leave a chain space. This is because I was thinking about that first one, the first granny that we did with Red Heart. Okay, so chain 1, and now we're across this side, and it's the same thing. In this first little space in between the grannies, you're going to do 2 double crochet, and then chain 1, and 2 double crochet, and then chain 1 and 2 double crochet in the next spot before you get to your corner. And maybe I'll trap this way and I'll sew it in later, that end. So 2 double crochet and chain 1, and now we're back in a corner, so we're going to do our 2 double crochet. If you want to chain 3 in between, if you want to do 3 double crochets now that you're here, you know, you want it to expand more, you know, do whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable with. Again, I'm using an eye hook, and I will try and remember to do an intro saying I'm using an eye hook. I forgot to do that in the last video for this. because that's important to know. I'm just using the same hook size as we used for the granny, you know? So I just want to show you what this is looking like, and basically you're just going to continue the same pattern, right? So this is very easy at this point. If you're looking at it and it starts getting bubbly like this, something's wrong. Like maybe you have too many chains or something, but you basically want to make your work so it's flat, right? That's the whole thing with crochet. As you're working, you want it to look nice and not like too tight in one area and so loose on the other, or like flouncy, or again, little bacon neck kind of thing going, like none of that. You want it nice and flat, and that works. And that's including the chain one where we didn't have chain one before. If it didn't look right, maybe get rid of the chain ones. You don't really need to have them, but it's going to work out better for our join as you go if we have a chain one. So I'm here and I'm going to work this next side of the hexagon. So chain one and my 2 double crochet. Okay, so I will go around until I get to the beginning of this guy and show you how I'm just going to connect it. So we're just going to complete these 2. And when we use the burgundy on the other guys, that's when we'll do join as you go. So again, I just kind of changed it up for this one. You can join as you go starting the next one if you wanted. I'm just want to do something different. So there you go. And now I'm already back in my corner, and I'll do my double, chain 2. Okay. And I will keep going. Okay guys, so here we are at the very end. I'm gonna show you on this one because I went ahead and completed this one while I was sitting at the couch, so I'll show you on this one at the very end. I just did my 2 double crochet, so chain 1, and then we're going to attach to our top of our chain 3. Now if you're looking, and you should, you know, if you're a crocheter, you already know this, this is the double crochet right before our chain space, and it has a nice little top, you know, with that little V-stitch, and it has like a little hole there. We're looking at the one before that. That's your 3rd or 2nd chain, whatever it is that you chained up. That works for you. And we'll go ahead and put that guy together and cut off. And unfortunately, we do have to cut off. These guys are going to be individual, so, you know, we're just adding another color round to the granny that we had come up with to begin with. And of course I still have to sew in my ends. I have not done that from before. So we have these 2 guys. And I can give you a measurement if you're adding another row to this, which is what I just did. It's 7 inches tall in that direction. And again, you know, yours might be different. And 6 here, right? Because it's a hexagon. So the tall one's 7, 6 this way, which is a really great number. So we have these 2. Now we're going to start attaching them. So with this guy, we're going to start off the same. I'm going to retire this pink color. And I have that burgundy color, and I'm going to look for the center of this skein, which, you know, they should just leave the thing sticking out. I don't know why sometimes they like bury it. So I'm just getting my hand real deep in this thing, trying to get the very center of what it feels like to be the very center, hopefully. And look at that, I found it. Yay! Sometimes I pull out a whole hunk of like a whole other skein coming out of these pound of loaves, right? So that's not too bad. Okay. So I'm going to do this in a way that I'm just going to start attaching as I'm working instead of doing a couple rows and then attaching, or what do you think? Yeah, no, I'm just going to start attaching it. It just seems like it'll be easier. So pick yourself a corner to get into. We're going to just work the first part of the corner. So I'm going to add in my yarn, chain 1. I always count that as a chain 1 just because why not? 2 and 3. Double crochet, right? And then we're only going to chain 1. And in the gaps, we're not going to chain any because we already have a chain 1 here. We're not going to chain any. We're just going to attach it. So I'm chaining 1 because we had chain 2. I'm going to get one of my hexagons and I'm going to go right into that corner, right into the space. I'm not looking for a specific little area. I'm just going to go right into the space, pull up a loop and pull it through my loop on my hook and just finish our corner. So now from here, 2 double crochet. You're just kind of leaving that on its own over there. So you're in the working granny now. 1, 2. 2 double crochet. I'm not chaining 1 because now we're just going to go into the next gap here that we just created. Just put right from the front, wrap around your yarn, pull it through your loops. You can tighten it up a little bit if it's too loose. And go ahead and do your 2 double crochet in the working granny. So 1, 2. Again, we're not chaining 1, we're just going to go in the front of the next gap, pull up our loop, And if you need this to be slower, I will include my video that I previously did this. So now again, just working your 2 double crochet in here, go back in the front of the next gap, right, and go in there, tighten it up a little bit if you need to, 2 double crochet. And this works up so fast because we're doing 2 double crochet instead of 3. That's typical with these hexagon. I feel though 2 double crochets, or 2 whatever stitch you're using. If you're making smaller ones, maybe you're doing half double, I don't know. Go into that next gap, come over to yours. Now we're at the corner already. We're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then join it, right? So 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, and I'm going to go into that corner right next to it, right in front, pull up a loop, and that's going to count as our second chain. So we're not going to chain again. We're going to turn the corner, finish your corner on your working granny, so 2 double crochet. I love this. It's so fun and it works up so quickly. So I just want to show you what that looks like. These are joined, they are not going anywhere, and they are joined right here. And I'm just going to continue. So I'm going to stay with you guys. Clearly. Now I could do this, continue and finish it, and then the next one do the same thing, finish it, and then the next one you know, but we are going to put this into a circle, and I just thought it'd be fun to connect them now. So I'm just going to here we are going to chain 1 after this 2 because we're not connecting anything here, so we're just going back to the pattern we began with. So chain 1, 2 double crochet. And I am doing it quickly because this video is going to take forever if we don't, but of course I usually do it slowly at the beginning so you can kind of see what's happening. Ooh, chain 1, 2 double crochet, oopsie, chain 1, and we're in our corner, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So there we go. Chain 2, 2 double crochet. We're going to finish this next side, and we're going to do half the corner because then the rest of the corner we're attaching it to that guy. So chain 1, 1, 2, don't get too crazy. This yarn really feels like it wants to come apart. You know, it has like 3-ply or 4-ply twist or whatever, and those little plies are like trying to untwist. Okay. Actually, I had tried it in my Centro knitting machine and it was just like not working, but then for some reason I switched out and did it again and just did the tension by my own hand instead of using the little gauge on there, and it worked just fine, the pound of love, so who knows. Okay, so I did the 2, chain 1. Next corner, we're going to do the first 2 plus a chain, so 2, 1 chain, and then bring over your next guy. And you can manipulate this to work for you, right? If you like it to be over here, then just move it to where you want. You don't have to keep it in an awkward space. That's what's nice about a small project. Then just pick a corner, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go into this corner right here. Pull up my loop, right? And finish off my corner, so 2 double crochet. And you guys, it's the same as we just did, so you know, not to belabor the point, we're not chaining 1. We are just going into the next gap right here, our next chain 1 space from the previous round, 2 double crochet, and just like we did the first time, but now we're working up this side. So again, no chaining, just go into that space, the next chain 1 space from that granny, and go into your working granny, 2 double crochet. And I'll meet you when I'm back at the corner just to make that more clear, but I just did the 2, and now I'm going back into this next one. Super easy. I'll be right back. Literally, it was just like one more cluster. So all we're gonna do is, I'm gonna weave that in later. We're just gonna go in with our 2 double crochet here. Yeah, no chaining 1, just go into your corner with your 2 double crochet. Now we're chaining 1 in the corner, only 1, not 2, going into that corner from the round that we want to join, or the hexagon, and go ahead and finish that corner with 2 double crochet. 2, and chain 1, and now we're just going to work across here, go into the next gap, 2 double crochet. I'm going to stop right here just to show you what that looks like. And now we have these guys joined. Isn't that cute? And I really love what I did here, because I was like, how am I going to make these kind of cohesive, kind of go together? But so I like that I repeated this kind of color out here, and it really goes well with that pinkish color, right? So that's good. I still haven't really chosen the colors we're going to do all the edging with, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to continue. So chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, your corner cluster, just typical, and then go down here, and I'll meet you when we're going to attach it to the top of our foundation chain, our beginning chain here. So I'm back here ready to join to the beginning cluster that we made. So chain 1, I just did my 2 double crochets, and again right to the top of your chain 3 or chain 2, whatever you began with, and we did our chain 1 and just attach that. And unfortunately, again, we're going to have to go ahead and cut that off, and that's another end we're going to weave in. Still not too bad, because from the beginning and the end of that first whole, you know, granny, you're just weaving in the beginning and the end, so we just added one more. Well, 2 more, right? The beginning and the end of this guy. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this up this way just to get rid of it out of the way. We're going to bring this guy in, and we are going to attach it the same way that we attached the first one. So I'm just going to, well, actually, no, what am I doing? I'm going to go in here and get myself a little loop and just go 1, 2, 3. I didn't want to leave myself so much of this yarn, but I did. Oh well. 2 and 3. And double crochet and chain 1, and now we're going to attach it to this, right? So just pick that corner, right? We're trying to make a line of it, so you're not like putting it over here. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to do something funky, but we're putting it in here, and I'm going to pull that guy up and finish our 2 double crochet, and just as we did before, I'm going to not chain, get this guy out here. Ugh, I should have been catching that guy the whole time, but oh well. Ugh, go, 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 go. Okay, so 2 double crochet, right? We're not chaining 1, we're just going to go to the next little gap right here and pull up our loop, and no chaining, just go and do our 2 double crochets in the working granny. 1, 2, try to keep those ends from bothering you. Okay, again, no chaining, just go into the next one, next little space right in here, pull up your loop, and 2 double crochet in your working granny. So this is going to be exactly the same as what we just did, right, to attach these guys. So just the same thing. I'm going to finish this and up to here, and I'll show you what we're going to do differently, if it is differently. I guess it kind of is. But I'll be right back. So I'm going to finish this up, go across these 2, I believe, and then we're going to basically attach like this in a circle. Okay? So I'll be right back. So I just finished that up, right? And then just regular granny up here and down to here. I'm in the corner. I just did my 2 double crochet. We need to chain 1, and we are going to turn this so our wrong sides are facing, because we're going to want to get this corner, this guy, right, to get connected. So I'm going to put it sideways just because it's easier for me. And it's the same thing. We're just going to go into that front, into the loop. I already did my chain 1. We're going to pull up a loop and continue with your 2 double crochet to finish that corner in your working granny. And it's literally the same thing. You just have a tube now. So no chain 1, just go into the next gap here, pull up your loop, and 2 double crochet in the working granny, right? So 1, 2, no chain, just go in here. And when I go in here, I just go in the front. I'm holding my yarn in the back, so it's already there. You just put it into your hook and pull it up. Okay, it's the same thing, guys, just a tube. That's it, no different. So I'm gonna do the 2 here, again going into this guy, and I'm just going to finish up. So 2 here, connect it there, do your corner connection just like we did at the beginning, and then I'm going to finish up, but when I get to the end of this I will come back and show you. So again, no different. There's literally no different other than that we're holding them like this instead of just being a strip. And I'll be right back. Just coming around here, I just want to make sure you understand. So we're not doing anything funky, we're not crawling back up this way, we're just going the same direction we've been doing. So I just did a chain 1 and my last 2 double crochet in this little space here in between my previous round, chain 1, and again at the very top of your chain 3. And now, if you were going to go ahead and start doing something right now, you probably don't have to cut off your yarn if you're going to use the same color and like do an edging or something, but I am not. I'm going to bring out a different color, so let's just add that. What I'm saying is if you were here and now you want to continue, like now I'm going to do a single crochet border all around, go for it. You can keep working, right? Because your yarn is there. But I am going to switch out colors, unfortunately, so let's go ahead and cut this one off. And again, my whole point is I'm trying to unify this in a way that makes all these crazy colors make sense. I am going to take a moment right now, though, to weave in these ends. Da, da, da. I don't even have a little tool with me right now, so let me go grab a yarn needle and I'll be right back. So when we first started these, I had told you guys you need to leave yourself the smallest amount of yarn here because we really needed all of it for that center one. So whenever it's something short like that, and I talk about this in another video, I will hook this in and get this going, you know, and away. And then I'll bring the yarn end in because there's no way you're going to put the yarn end in and get enough length behind it to do this later. Ooh, it's really tight because if you recall that one, it's super tight. So again, you can give that a pull if you want to make this a little skinnier, whatever. And then I usually go back in the other direction just to really make sure this thing is in there. If I came out the front, I did. I could feel it. It was too easy. I was like, that is too easy. So let's just maybe a couple more in here. Really tack that down. We start off with a chain 4 and then it's kind of looped into itself, so it shouldn't come apart, but you just want to get rid of these little ends. And again, you always kind of give it a little pull so it's a little bit tight, so when you cut it, it just kind of shrinks back into the work. Whatever it is that you like to do to, you know, finish things off. So with this guy, I left myself plenty, so I know it's already trapped a little bit because I kept it underneath. And what I do is I kind of try to catch a stitch like under here, you know. And if you want to make like a knot, you can do that so you know it's extra secure. Just kind of pull, obviously tucking that away, and then maybe go back in the other direction since I started off going in this direction, going the other way. And again, give it a tug and a cut. And that's kind of how I do it. Whatever it is that you like to do. My way is a little bit lazy, but that's fine. And this guy pretty much buried itself from the first time. I'm telling you, it was such a weird yarn, so I'm just going to cut this little fluff here, but other than that, that one was done. So I'll just go through and weave in my ends just to be done with them. And then we will continue with adding some kind of edging that makes this more straight. I mean, if you don't mind these little pokes up and down, it's weird. So you can leave it that way, but I'm going to go finish everything off and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm going to put that to the side. They're all sewn in. It didn't take very long, to be honest. Okay, so I think to finish off, like I said, I want to bring things together and be more cohesive with whatever colors I have, whatever I can match up. And obviously this one has a white here, this one has black. They're not, white's not in here and black's not in here, but I think it'll help us finish it off. You can do this all in one color. I'm going to do it in 2 colors just to have more variation. I don't know. I love weaving in ends. No, I'm just kidding. Isn't that the whole point of having this stuff? This is what I was telling you. I had pulled out center. Actually, this was a Karen pound, 1 pound, and the whole thing was crazy. So let me find my edge. I'm going to start up what we need to do. I haven't thought as far as how to make this straight. I think it's going to involve at least treble crochets that might be really big that we are going to work up, double crochets, half double, single. We have to like basically go from, you know, here across. So we need some really long stitches and some short ones. And that's how I'm going to do it. We'll see what happens. It's been a while. I don't even know that I've ever done this, to be honest. And just start wherever you like. Let's see. I'm going to bring it into one of these corners. It might be easier to start at the bottom somewhere, but that's okay. Okay, so my yarn is over here. We're going to bring this guy in, and I'm just going to attach it. Okay, and we'll work with this. We'll weave it in later. What I want to do is put single crochets. So I already did this, but I'm going to go ahead and put in a single crochet. We did a chain 1 to like step it up, but we need our single crochet. Let's go ahead and put 2 stitches. See, I have 2 chains, so I'm trying to mimic that. So another single crochet in this high point here. Okay, so I have a single crochet, two chains, single crochet. This is going to be a foundation row, basically, to then attach some clusters, but we need something to attach them to. Now, I guess you could just go here, but it'd be weird. It just wouldn't work the same. So on top of this, we have 2 double crochets, right? 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1. So I'm going to chain 2 instead of 2 double crochets. We're chaining 2. We're going to go into that chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the next chain space. That's all we're doing. We're just adding something to hang on to. So chain 2, single crochet in the next space, chain 2, single crochet in the next space. This one, you can do 2 or 3 here. It is longer just because you have the 2 plus the chain 1 and then it goes in here. So if you just want to do 2, that's fine. If you want to do 3, that might work out better. Let me think. Do I want to do 3? No, 2's fine. See how 3 brought it way out? And even when you go in here, you're going to clip it down, but let's just say 2 very loose ones in case we end up putting 3 triple crochet in there. And what I'm going to do for the single crochet is in between where we hook these guys together, right? In that little gap, there's like an opening right here. I'm not putting one here and one here. I'm just putting one right here. So that's a single crochet. Oh my gosh, this thread or yarn. A lot of times I say thread and I don't mean to say thread, and I'm sorry. I know people will correct me. Okay, 1, 2. And again, we're going across this. If 3 works better for you, then do 3, okay? But I'm making it kind of loose. So single crochet, 1, 2, single crochet in the next little gap. And you don't have to make it real big. You know, you can make it a little tighter. You don't have to do this at all, like I said, but I think it just makes the more finished product. So 1, 2. Here you go. 1, 2. And now we're back in a little tippy top, which I'm gonna go ahead and, again, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, I was gonna do a double for some reason, and then chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 1 from the previous round. So I think you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do this all around, chain 2, and then in here, chain 2, and the next one, chain 2 kind of loosely so I can go in this gap here in between those guys, and chain 2 again kind of loosely because I need to get into this gap, and again chain 2, and keep going. Guys, I'm not gonna waste more of your time, and I will meet you when I get back to the beginning of this, and we're gonna do exactly the same thing on this bottom round, okay? But I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just coming back around over here. We're back at the beginning, so chain 2, the last single crochet in that little space there, chain 2, and attach to either, basically the top of your single crochet. If you attach to the top of the chain 1, then that chain 1 counts as a single crochet, but we're not doing that. We're just trying to get in here. Oh my gosh, this yarn is so splitty. Okay, just whatever. Just get that in there. And basically I'm going to cut this guy off. That looks too high. I guess it's okay. It looks really high to me, but maybe I'll adjust that. Okay. There we go. You know why? Something's not right there. You know what it was? It's just that all those bits that I was doing forward and back, or, you know what I'm saying, including part of that first chain in there. So let me undo that and make it look a little nicer. That's not quite where I want it. I feel like that's just, here's the chain 2 space and maybe a little bit lower. Something seems weird there, but okay, we're gonna cover that up anyway with the next round. So just want to make it look a little neater. Oh my gosh. Okay. There. That looks a little better. Okay. I'm going to do the exact same thing down here. So just add it. If you want to add it in here to start with, you think that looks nicer, then go for it. Like you don't have to start wherever looks more convenient to you. So I'll show you what it looks like if we start in here because it's a little more tucked away anyway. So if I brought this in, I'm going to chain 1, but that's not considered my single crochet. I'm just going to go right into the single crochet. Actually, here it could be because it's not a big deal. If you want to make your chain 1 your single crochet, that's fine. chaining 2, we're in that gap, and now I'm going to go over here, and again chain 2 and get in here, and when you get to your corner you'll just do the same thing that we did before. So chain 2 in here, oopsie, chain 2, a single crochet in here, chain 2, another single crochet in that same spot, and chain 2, and continue going up and down your whole round, and then attach it down here, just to, you know, slip stitch in here to finish it off. Okay, I'll be back. Let me put that to the side. I just cut this off because I was sitting on my couch doing this, and I just didn't want to bring that whole skein over here. So 2 more, and we're back at the beginning, and again right into that single crochet, just kind of slip stitch in there, or into the space, whatever. Okay, and now I can cut some of this off and finish that off right here. All right, so that's something we'll weave in later, but this is what we have. So now I have to create something that's gonna help us go from here, down in here and back, but make it straight. So let's find out what that's gonna be. I was gonna take a pause and kind of work on that, but I think it's sometimes good when people see what we're thinking. What am I thinking here? So on this top one, I feel like I should just slip stitch, but maybe we'll do a single crochet. I'm just gonna go into one of these top bits. Pull that up. Let's do single crochet. So I chained 1 just to get in there, single crochet. Let me see, 1, if we did half double, double, ooh, no. Okay, so let's do a few single crochets. So there's 1 there, let's put 2 in here. And they're kind of tall. Let's do a half double in the next space. Okay, so I have that one. 2 half doubles, so half double because that's taller than a single crochet. I don't know if this is gonna work at all, guys. We're just trying something. Next one, double crochets. That might be a little too tall. Let's see. So funny enough, if I hadn't added 1 more round, we would be pretty much where we need to do a triple, but I did add another round, so here we are. Let's do some really tall double crochets. Just make it tall, like make it nice and loose, okay? That way we don't have to do too many triples. So in this first one we did, sorry, I don't want to misspeak, and I know I was going to. So we have a single crochet in this first little space. That's all we're gonna do. 2 singles that are a little tall, you know, a little loose, 2 half double, 2 double crochet, 2 really loose double crochet, and now we're in this space and I want to go ahead and do some trebles. So we're swing around a couple times here, and I'm going to do 1, 2, let's see where we're at. How's this looking? Okay, that might be really good. So that's 2, and then if I come back in here with another one, we do have this space that if I wanted to put something in here, I could. Like I said, this was kind of a long strip, so maybe we do 3. Let's add in 3 triple or treble crochets, whatever you want to call them. Just because that one space is a really big gap, so let's try that. Let's come across the other side into the next chain 2 space. Let's do again, whoop, triples always, I always forget to do that second one because I don't really do these, but I've been doing them recently. So we're around again, pull up through 2, pull up through 2, pull up through 2, and then going into the next gap, which would be very loose double crochets, 2 of them that are really nice and tall. We're just trying to fill in the gap, guys. The next 2 double crochets in the next gap are not going to be as tall, just make them a little more typical. I'm just making this easy, you guys. That's what I'm trying to do. And then this one, we're going to do 2 half doubles. So you loop around, but you pull through all 2. Loop around like if you're doing a double crochet, but pull through all 2. And then 2 single crochets in here that are a little bit tall, you know, a little looser. And then when we're in this space here, we're just going to put 1 single crochet. Let's see what this looks like. You guys, are we doing it? I mean, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now these 2 are definitely separate from each other. If you wanted to, you could kind of work them together, I don't see the problem. It's just that there's a big space there. And honestly, this is gonna be around your neck and whatever, so you're not gonna see all that. That is awesome. And I couldn't have, like, oh my gosh, you guys, this whole time I've been like, how am I gonna fill this gap? I think that's pretty good. Okay, so let's do it one more time. So we did our single crochet there. In the next space here, we're doing 2 single crochets that are a little bit loose, right? We're kind of making them a little tall. And then the next one, 2 half double crochets. Let that go. Now, you know, if you're doing more, if you have bigger hexagons, it's going to be tougher to do this kind of thing. But since this is very few and we can just kind of fill in the space, this is a good technique for this guy. And if you're making a scarf, and you just have a long strip and you want to make a kind of a straight line, you can do a very similar thing, okay? Okay, so we did the 2 half doubles, 2 double crochet that are kind of what they should be like, right? 2 very tall double crochets, so make them nice and loose in here. And I'm just putting 2 and 2 because we started with 2. You want to do 3, you think it looks nicer, go for 3, okay? I didn't put any chain 1 spaces anywhere. It's just, I'm trying to keep it like this. I don't know if it works. And as you can see, it's still a little higher up here than over here, but that's not bad. That's not bad. And honestly, you can fill it in maybe with another round of something that brings it up even further if you wanted. But okay, so let's do 3 treble here. 1. Oh, that one's really far from its space, but that's okay. I always forget. There we go. So anyway, my projects are always looking for easy and easy to explain and easy to do. So hopefully that's what this is doing. I don't know. Let's see. So there's that 1, 2, and 3. And maybe we'll do an ending one that just puts everything together. I don't know. But okay, so here we have our really tall doubles. Remember, make them nice and loose. The next 2 double crochets are just a little bit like more regular. And then we're going for 2 half double crochets in this spot. And then, 2 single crochets that are a little bit tall. Not super tall, but just like that. And then 1 single crochet at the very top of that little chain 2 in our corner. And coming back down the other direction again, little 2 single crochets. And doing it again. So 2 single, 2 half double, 2 double crochet, 2 very tall double crochets, 3 triple, and we'll continue that way. Okay, guys? And I'll be back. I'm back down around here. And you know, even at this first one where you're doing the little chain 2 at the tip, if you want to just slip stitch into there, you can do that. So go slip stitch, single crochet, half double, 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 and then triple. I mean, it's just another way, whatever works for you. As you're looking at it, you're like, that doesn't look very straight, or it probably could be less, you know, whatever it is you need to do, you can definitely do that. So again, right here, I'm doing my last 2 single crochet, but it could have started off with a slip stitch, and then you do a slip stitch when you get here. So you're not pointing it up with another single crochet, but whatever works for you is great. So here we go, and let's slip stitch it into that first single crochet. And I'm not going to tie it off quite yet because we can take a look, and if you think this is done, great. If you think you still want like another row of single crochet to just kind of finish it off better, you know, it just kind of straightens it out. That's all I was looking for, something to just kind of straighten everything up. And you know, I just feel like it needs another round, so I'm going to go ahead and single crochet into each and everything. So I was already here, my first one. I'm going to go ahead and single crochet in there. And this is another chance for you too, if you feel like, you know what, the single crochet doesn't look quite right, maybe I need to do a half double in the middle somewhere to kind of pull it up. Actually, you know what, let's back up. I'll tell you, this is all very fluid, you guys. Let's just go back over here. I did my slip stitch into the first single crochet of our round. Let's just leave it at that. That way that doesn't get any taller. And now I'll just single crochet. So single crochet into that one, into the next one. Not too tight. You're not trying to make this like too weird. And actually that's good because that slip stitch will account for having added a 3 triple crochet here where we didn't have it before. So it just kind of doesn't really negate it, but it's just something to think about. Okay, so let's, again, all these guys, I just want to get you to the next tippy top where it goes top. So here we go. And if you feel like you need to make some of these single crochets a little taller to make it a little more straight, then do that. You know, whatever makes it work and look nice. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And I literally just pulled this out of thin air, this pattern. So hopefully it makes sense. Again, sometimes you just got to do what you think is going to work and just let your expertise in crocheting and all the years of crochet help you out. So we're going to get back to this little tippy top here. So hold on, there's one there. We have a spot here. We have this guy here. And up on top here, I'm just trying to see, do I want to slip? So basically 1, 2, yeah. So this one coming in here, and sometimes it's hard to tell, that's your little post, but this is the one that corresponds to that. So we're just going to slip stitch in there. So just bring up a loop. You're not actually making a single crochet. And the next one, which is the next single crochet, you will make a single crochet. This one's a single crochet. This is your half double. We're going to single crochet over it. That's the second half double. This is the first double crochet in that round. The second double crochet. Your tall double crochets. There's 1 and 2. And then your 3 triples, 1, 2, 3. So just keep going. But when you get to the very point, just slip through that one. Don't make it a single crochet. It just will make it taller and it'll make it less likely to look more even. So again, just keep going across, giving it a nice edging. Ooh, you want to picot this? You could have done that. I love picots, you know. It's just a fun little thing to add. But let's say you wanted to make a picot, and you can think about if you want to do like every third stitch. Oh my goodness, I have a little knot. Let's take this apart and we'll talk about picoting. Darn it, I should have thought about that first. I like always adding a little something fun. But okay, here's my single crochet. Let's say you want to do picot. We're here. So go like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and then just put your needle or your hook into that front post of your single crochet, and then the next little post that's there, I guess this is the top loop and this is the post. And then pull up a loop and you make a little picot and then continue single crocheting. So let's say I want to do let's say every third. So now I just did 2 single crochet, another single crochet, and another picot. So you just go 1, 2, 3. I usually like to do every other one, but I'm just trying to show you, you can do whatever you want. Put it in there, put that through there, pull it through, and now you have another little picot, okay? And then single crochet 2 more, another picot, and then you have these little like bubbles. But I didn't do that, so we're gonna take it back. And I will meet you guys when I get to the beginning of this round. So again, single crochet just all around. And then I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So I will be back. Okay guys, so I am back around to the very beginning where we had slip stitched. I'm just gonna cut this off because just want to work with that a little easier. So go into that slip stitch if you would like, because we got to finish this off. And that is that. I usually just pull this out just so you guys know, but recently I've been doing a lot more of going ahead and bringing that through that last loop. I usually just pull it all the way up. Now, is it completely straight? No. Is it softer edge? Yes. And I think that's going to be good for me. So I'm going to do this other side again. We did add 3 in here. So we basically added 2 stitches where there weren't before. So it kind of gave it a little something, but I think it's okay. So I just wanted to finish it off in a way that looked more decent. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have finished that up. I'm back around in this one. I guess I could tuck away this white yarn. Hold on, just to make it look a little cleaner. I'm back around here, and you know, as I was working it, I was like, you know, I could have torn this out and just done the 2 treble crochet in each space. I just really wanted to fill that space in. So notes on my own pattern, if you don't want to do that, just do 2 treble, 2 treble, okay? Don't do the 3. Still do the cross everything. Even here at the beginning, if you don't want to put a single crochet, you know, I start with single crochet on the black round and then did 2 more single crochet. If you just want to do a slip stitch there and then go into the single crochets on the second little gap, do that. Whatever helps you make it nice and flat and what you want, okay? Again, you're gonna have to pull from your own expertise, how it's going, how's it looking, you know, all those kinds of things you're kind of keeping an eye on. And honestly, once you're done, no one's gonna notice. Just keep doing the same thing, right? In this section, I'm gonna do the same thing in this section, you know, kind of thing. So It just looks neater, obviously. Okay, so I was back around almost to the beginning, and this is how I know if I'm at the beginning, because it is hard to tell here. It's just that it's on top of this guy. So go in there and slip stitch, and that is done, you guys. I just have to weave in my tails. Unfortunately, no one's here because, you know, vacation's over, so I'm by myself, so I'll try to get some pictures of me wearing this. But I am done. And again, hexagons are always funky, and you can see because I added 2 more stitches here and here and here and here, you know, because I did 3, 3, 3 instead of just 2, 2, 2, 2, 2s. It has a little flared out look there on the edges. It looks like a bustier. It's funny. Anyway, so we have this guy. I'm going to weave in our ends just like we've always done here, and that is my little cowl, and I'll show you the measurement. I mean, you know I don't block anything, and I've talked about that, but if you want to block things, go for it. In here, it's about 12 inches, so that's 24 inches around-ish, right? A little bit bigger on the very edge because I added about an inch. Again, it was basically 4 stitches, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches I added, right? Because there's 2 extra here, 2 extra here, 2 extra here, 2 extra here. So in those 8, it gave it an extra inch all around. But I am happy with this because once you put it on, it's going to look really cute and really fun, and no one's going to know anything different. So there you go. Look how cute. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have links in the description box for whatever might be pertinent. And I'll have some pictures with this on, and that's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.